Mars, build bases on Mars, then
Yeah.
use Mars to jump off to all these other planets.
Could you colonize the galaxy in a million years? Absolutely. The entire galaxy.
This is Blue Moon. It's time to go back to the moon, this time to stay.
Space exploration used to be the exclusive purview of superpowers like the US and Russia. However, during the past 20 years, the space race has transformed into a conflict between titanic billionaires. Jeff Bezos, a multi-billionaire, is the founder and CEO of Blue Origin, which recently returned from a rocket launch 65 miles above the Earth's surface. While everything was going on, SpaceX successfully landed the first stage of their Falcon 9 rocket on Earth after launching it on a risky journey around the world. If you want to find out which company will win the race to explore space, watch this video to the conclusion. The first crewed aircraft flight and the first moon landing occurred in space in just 66 years. Business-minded millionaires have now made it their mission to send people into space. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin versus SpaceX private racing battle is intimately related to the space accomplishments of the 21st century. The competition between the two richest people on the globe has helped humanity conquer black matter more successfully in the last few years than in the previous 20. Several new firms are motivated to enter the space race by SpaceX and Blue Origin, which are still setting the standard for commercial space. This video will discuss the Billionaires Space Race and who will most likely prevail. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more stuff before we continue. Click the bell icon to sign up for new video alerts. Have you already executed it? Let us move on. Blue Origin and SpaceX have dominated the discussion of non-governmental space exploration, both established in the early 2000s. These businesses have made enormous progress in realizing what many would have viewed as a pipe dream. Let us examine the 20-year trajectory of these space business giants. Although their backgrounds were different, the founders of Blue Origin and SpaceX entered the space sector roughly simultaneously. They both launched businesses with their own money, but Bezos, the founder of Blue Origin, had an advantage in terms of time and money. Amazon has already made many $billion since Blue Origin was founded in 2000. 2 years after Musk successfully sold PayPal for $160 million, he launched SpaceX. At their owner's dinner in 2004, the conflict between Blue Origin and SpaceX got underway. Bezos, who founded Blue Origin, offered Musk several of what seemed to be his original ideas, but Musk brusquely rejected them. "We tried, but it did not work out," I told him. "Avoid making the same errors as us." In Christian Davenport's Space Barons, SpaceX founder Musk reflects, "I truly did my best to give him excellent counsel, but he generally ignored it." The owners of Blue Origin and SpaceX have yet to get along since then. The conflict between Blue Origin and SpaceX is present in everything, from media criticism to legal disputes. It does not, however, stop Blue Origin and SpaceX from steadily advancing toward their objectives. However, how do Blue Origin's and SpaceX's objectives and methods differ? How well are the techniques used by SpaceX and Blue Origin performing? Founding. Jeff Bezos, the former CEO of Amazon, created Blue Origin in 2000 to democratize space travel. Blue Origin began creating reusable rockets to reduce the exorbitant cost of space travel. The first single-launch system was expensive and a barrier to mainstream space exploration. The corporation emerged from the shadows with a few successful launches after years of labor. Elon Musk founded SpaceX in 2002. He was one of the most well-known individuals in the technology sector, and many believe he served as the model for Tony Stark from Iron Man. Musk founded SpaceX to lower the cost of space travel. Unlike Jeff Bezos of Amazon, Elon Musk has no intention of concealing his ambitions, including colonizing Mars and building the first reusable spacecraft. SpaceX has established itself as a significant participant in the commercial space sector thanks to its reliable launch capabilities. For the Starlink satellite program, an effort to bring internet access to areas with limited connection, it launched 31 satellites in 2021. First launch. Blue Origin launched the New Shepard rocket from Texas on April 29, 2015. The journey, which reached a height of 307,000 feet and was named after Alan Shepard, the first American to fly into space, might have been a success if not for a significant issue. The loss of hydraulic pressure caused the rocket's propulsion system to malfunction. The test flight served as Blue Origin's starting point for the journey. After that, the business estimated it would take some time to conduct suborbital flights. It took them an additional 5 years to accomplish this goal. SpaceX launched the Falcon 1 in its first test flight 4 years after its founding. Unfortunately, a gasoline leak caused the flight to crash land. However, the spacecraft was finally launched into orbit the following year in 2008. Falcon 1 was retired to make room for Falcon 9 when SpaceX demonstrated its ability to launch into orbit. The starship from Star Wars inspired the names of both Falcon rockets. The Merlin 9 engines are another name for the numerical designator of the rockets. NASA's Cape Canaveral, June 2010, launched the Falcon 9 on a mission partially funded by the government's organization. Since then, SpaceX has made more than 80 flights and is regarded as a major player in contemporary spaceflight. Another Falcon 9 mission by SpaceX was successful in 2012. The Dragon spacecraft was launched into the International Space Station, ISS. The mission represented the first launch of a private spacecraft to the ISS. The Dragon could transport 7,000 pounds of supplies, including food and clothing, but it barely moved around 1,200 pounds. The spacecraft spent 3 days getting to the station after entering orbit so that its different systems could be tested. Since that initial voyage in 2012, SpaceX has made 24 deliveries to the International Space Station. May 2022 is anticipated to be the month of their 25th visit. Blue Origin and SpaceX have made more progress in reliably launching rockets into space. Difference between SpaceX and Blue Origin. Jeff Bezos is placing a wager on space travel. Being a traditionalist by temperament, he operates in business under the guiding principle of slow is smooth, smooth is swift. Gradatim ferociter, the motto of Blue Origin, translates to step by step ferociously, in Latin. Aesop's fable about the tortoise overcoming the hare is referenced by the Blue Origin New Shepard rocket's drawing of a tortoise after each successful launch. The founder of Blue Origin states that their small team's long-term objective is to discover a method enabling someone to acclimate to space progressively. We will get there gradually, step by step. Spend your money sensibly and act like turtles rather than hares. You may wonder if Blue Origin's turtle is superior to SpaceX's hare. It might be, but determining if Blue Origin is superior to SpaceX is more complex. The only significant accomplishment in the last 20 years was made possible by the turtle's slow movement. In order to reach a height of 100 kilometers, a suborbital rocket with a cargo passenger capsule climbs vertically. This allows passengers to experience weightlessness and take in the beauty of Earth from space through panoramic windows. Although the first Blue Origin New Shepard mission carrying passengers only happened last year, Jeff Bezos intends to make such flights commonplace. Although the New Shepard technology offers great safety and comfort, it has several drawbacks. Only 3 minutes of 11-minute Blue Origin journey are spent in zero gravity for the passengers. Although the price of tickets has not yet been disclosed, it is anticipated to cost at least $200,000, which not everyone can afford. Undoubtedly, spending time in space is inspirational and fulfilling, especially for aspiring astronauts, even if it is only in suborbit. However, will this experience be as well liked as Blue Origin's founder anticipates? Blue Origin has made other advancements outside New Shepard. Other ones include the Blue Moon lunar lander and the New Glenn heavy orbital launch vehicle. However, it will be some time before such advancements are put into use, and it's still being determined if these spacecraft will be able to compete with them. Musk has embraced an aggressive strategy for SpaceX to seek attention through hazardous innovation. In contrast to the conservative Jeff Bezos, Musk's childhood fantasy of colonizing other planets, particularly Mars, might become a reality thanks to the launch vehicles SpaceX has been creating. These vehicles could also drastically lower the cost of putting cargo into orbit. SpaceX's relentless work ethic helped them gain the confidence of the public and private sectors fast, resulting in multi-billion-dollar venture capital investments and significant government contracts for the company. Even though the initial SpaceX effort was unsuccessful in 2006 when the first Falcon 1 rocket sample crashed during testing, SpaceX was awarded the NASA contract for the Commercial Orbital Transportation Services program 4 months later and received a total funding of $400 million for the development of the Falcon 9 launch vehicle and Dragon spacecraft. SpaceX needed 2 years to iron out the kinks and launch a Falcon 1 payload into orbit. It then required another 2 years to enter the market with the SpaceX Falcon 9 and the Dragon cargo ship to transfer payloads to the International Space Station. As a result, SpaceX could enter into contracts with both NASA and the US Air Force. Later, upgrades of the Crew Dragon passenger spacecraft and the Super Heavy SpaceX Falcon Heavy launch vehicle were created. Which is in front? Today, SpaceX Falcon 9 does more launches annually than any other launch vehicle, and it costs the least to send a 1-kilogram cargo into orbit. This was made possible by the reusable first-stage technology and the huge payload capability to LEO, 23 tons. Recall that the Blue Origin New Shepard offers reusable launch technology, but it falls short compared to SpaceX. The same holds for both businesses' employee count. Despite Jeff Bezos' repeated efforts to entice certain competition professionals with bigger wages, there are 3 times as few people employed at Blue Origin as at SpaceX. Additionally, Blue Origin needs help understanding NASA's Artemis lunar program. The US government found SpaceX's moon colonization efforts more suitable, and the court rejected Blue Origin's case to challenge the ruling. Mission Inspiration 4 was SpaceX and Blue Origin's most resounding achievement in their battle. On September 16, 2021, SpaceX launched its amateur astronauts into orbit 3 months after New Shepard's inaugural passenger voyage. Passengers on the Crew Dragon spent 3 full days in orbit and were treated to panoramic views of the Earth and space through a glass dome specially installed in the bow of the craft. This dome was significantly larger than the panoramic windows on the Blue Origin New Shepard. Bezos has essentially lost Musk in this field of space tourism. However, SpaceX still had one more trick up its sleeve. This heavy orbital spaceship Starship has been modified with the HLS Human Landing System. This is the vehicle the founder of SpaceX is developing to colonize the Moon and Mars. Based on how systematically he advances this objective while obliterating all rivals in his path, we will soon witness Starship in actual use. After that, Jeff Bezos will have to resist something far more important than the 6-seat New Shepard, which will descend via vintage parachute. Let us wait and watch before deciding which of Blue Origin and SpaceX is superior. Keep using orbital. The fun between Blue Origin and SpaceX has just begun today. The US space transportation market is served by SpaceX and Blue Origin, which offer spacecraft and launch services. Which company will prevail in the competition to be the first private company to send people to Mars, even though they both have a variety of advantages? Although Blue Origin is younger than SpaceX, they have completed more launches and won more contracts. If Blue Origin can maintain its recent success rate, these elements may work in its favor. However, SpaceX is developing its rockets quickly and has a track record of successfully placing cargo and payloads into orbit on schedule. It's tough to predict who will win this space race if these advancements keep up. Today's video has come to an end. If you liked this video, subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. Remember to click the bell icon to get alerts when new videos are posted. I will see you in the upcoming video. Bye for now.